As we all know, today is Frank's last day, and we wanted to make sure he didn't have to do it alone. We want to give you the credit that you deserve, and of course, a very special thank you. Starting with a look back at your career, here's News 13's John Lee.
News 13's Frank Kracher joins us live in Asheville.
Whether you've watched him for 20 years or 20 seconds, it's apparent. Frank Kracher has a knack for connecting with people. He was first hired to team up with legend Darcel Grimes after working out west in San Francisco and Seattle.
Some people you meet and you know right off it's going to click. And that's the way it was when Frank and I met.
Fellow anchor Tammy Watford agrees the affable anchor reporter belonged here from the start.
We've been friends for a very long time. He walked in the door and he just welcomed everybody and everybody welcomed him.
He has been a real joy to work with.
Whether it's in the studio or in the newsroom, Frank makes everyone around him better. Director Dave Epley's a close friend and longtime colleague we affectionately call Coach.
Just to watch somebody in his level as an anchor or reporter makes the rest of us, he raises the level for all of us.
In 2005, Kracher and Coach Epley left News 13 for management opportunities, working together at a TV station in Syracuse. During his time there, Frank nearly lost his life.
Just by the grace of God, he's still with us.
In 2014, Frank described the frightening moment.
I almost died from a traumatic brain injury. An artery exploded inside my skull. Doctors never did figure out why I fainted, my head bouncing off the floor. I don't remember any of it.
After rehabilitating, Frank wowed us all by coming back to News 13 as an anchor and reporter. It seemed like a tall order, but he did it. His return to form was truly inspiring to everyone.
You can't go through what he went through and not struggle. And as a friend, I wanted to help him any way that I could. And for me, it was being a support system.
Just a credit to him that he was able to come back to work.
Just last week, Frank summed up his time on TV quite succinctly.
I'm retiring from television news. It's been a great run, total of 42 years. The better part of it's spent right here at WLOS.
After decades of telling your stories and sometimes sharing his, Frank's ready to call it a career. Whether we're ready as colleagues, viewers, and friends is a whole different matter. And maybe that's the measure of what a team player he's been.
That he was a kind and gentle person and was always helpful. I mean, especially with the younger people, he wanted to teach.
That is always good. That is a sign of leadership in a newsroom.
From rookie reporters to longtime veterans, Frank has made a lasting impression. And that's why we're grateful to know the man who's simply the best in so many ways.
Frank Kracher, News 13. Wow, it's fun to watch all that stuff. And you know, and I've known you for so long, I've known Holly for so long, and in 20 or something years, this is the first time we've ever sat and anchored together.
And probably most people don't know that 19 years ago, this man is my mentor and the reason that I'm sitting here today. So
she's a Sharpie.
And over the years, you've always done your best to give back to the community as well, something that you'll likely continue, I'm sure, in retirement. You frequently volunteered for the Western North Carolina AIDS Project as an ambassador at Dining Out for Life, fundraisers, and a moderator for panel discussions about HIV and AIDS. And back in San Francisco, Frank was a journalist at the height of the AIDS crisis, a cause that meant a lot to him.
He has a very personal connection to HIV/AIDS, and you know, it's very touching because he never forgot where he came from, and he's always been a great community ally.
And Frank told us he plans to continue that rewarding relationship with WNCAP, helping the nonprofit raise money for its mission, including HIV client support and awareness. Plus, let's not forget another organization close to his heart. You just heard about it because of his personal experience with a traumatic brain injury. Frank has been involved with the Brain Injury Association of North Carolina since his return to the mountains. That nonprofit was founded nearly 40 years ago to raise awareness. The association also provides resources, training, and advocacy about brain injury.
So for him to share his story and to be that open and vulnerable about it, he has done a remarkable job of making the invisible visible and showing people what hope, resilience looks like.
When I moved to this area and was learning how to live life with a traumatic brain injury, he was sort of the beacon of hope of what I could achieve in my recovery.
So maybe it's fitting that ending your broadcasting career is happening in March, coinciding with Brain Injury Awareness Month. In retirement, Frank, you told us too that you plan to keep sharing your story to shed light on traumatic brain injuries. And we have a couple more messages, this time from viewers and even some past coworkers.
It's been a long time, a long, strange trip, as you would have said. I will always cherish the formative years of my life when we worked together on the WLOS floor, swapping Grateful Dead CDs, and you telling me about when you interviewed Carlos Santana, and just all the waves we made. So I wish you the absolute best in retirement. I'm sure this is the beginning of a new glorious chapter.
So Frank, enjoy retirement. There is life after WLOS, but it's a special place, and I'm proud you're part of the legacy.
It's cool to see those guys.
Yeah.
Amari's such a kid.
I know, right? He looks great, too. I haven't seen Amari in a long time either. And we have one more message, this time from our news team. A special goodbye done by your very own producer, our very own Erin Dalton.
Good evening. I'm Erin, the weekend producer here. I'm the one that Frank would say drives the bus. I work behind the scenes, which makes right now a very new experience for me. But Frank always said I'd be good on TV. So here I am. When I met Frank, I was just starting, still learning my footing, and couldn't write a tease to save my life. He has been encouraging me every step of the way, from tips to listening to me on good and bad days, helping me work through problems a news day can throw at you. You name it, he was there. A man with the numbers, the reporter with a wealth of experience, and an anchor with the integrity of a humble warrior. I can honestly say, over the couple years of working together, I have grown as a producer and an individual thanks to Frank. Now, it'll be different not having him on the weekends, but Frank, I feel confident with all the skills and knowledge you've given me. So here's to you, Frank. Here's to getting loud and big. Here's to taking chances. Here's to being buddies. And let's not forget all the motivational quotes, primarily consisting of Grateful Dead ones, like, I'll never forgive you if you don't take a chance. So here's to taking chances, wishing you the best, and see you on the other side.
Wow.
How many people have you done that for?
Erin. I've always told her she has such a pretty smile.
She's beautiful.
and she showed it there. She showed it right there. I've always told her you'd be really great on television. I am so happy that you're here tonight. I have to tell you that. It's just, it means a lot to me.
Get the tissue box. Come on, we got it here just in case this happened. We just might have to have this.
Really, I mean, we're great friends. It's, you know, since the time you were practically an intern and coming up, and I ride people hard sometimes, and but I'd like to think that people rode me before, and it's just passing along the example and kind of handing off the torch. And I'm so happy that you're doing what you're doing because you really deserve it. And I'm happy to walk out of here because this place is in great hands.
Well, this place is because of you, because you've trained, as you saw with Erin, all of us. We've all been under your wing, and we love you, and we are excited for you, and you have an awesome career to look back on.
Well, I'm looking forward to the retirement part of it too.
Yeah.
A little bit of golfing, a little bit of fishing. Okay. The advocacy work will continue, and the mountains of Western North Carolina are going to continue to be my home. You know, you don't pick up a wonderful life here and go plop it down somewhere else. But we're here to stay.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Congratulations.
Thanks.